Meeting the Princess. In a distant future, where humans and aliens met in peace, a grand space conference was taking place. It was held on the magnificent space station known as the Star Nexus. This was a place where all species came together to share ideas and make alliances. Among the human delegates was Alex, a young diplomat. He had always dreamed of representing Earth, and now he stood in awe of the colorful displays and the many different beings around him. As Alex walked through the bustling halls of the station, he marveled at the sights. There were aliens with shimmering skin, others with multiple arms, and even some that floated gracefully above the ground. Alex felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He wanted to make a good impression for Earth, but he was unsure of what to expect. Suddenly, a group of delegates caught his eye. They were gathered around a stunning alien princess. Her name was Lyra, and she belonged to the Xantari race. Lyra had radiant blue skin that sparkled like the night sky, and her long flowing hair resembled shimmering silver strands. She moved with grace, and everyone around her seemed captivated by her presence. Curiosity pulled Alex closer. He listened as Lyra spoke, her voice like music to his ears. She was sharing stories about her home planet, Xantara, a lush world filled with towering trees and vibrant flowers. Alex felt drawn to her, not just because of her beauty, but also because of her kindness. She seemed genuinely interested in the stories of other cultures. Feeling brave, Alex approached her. "Hello, Your Highness. I'm Alex, a representative from Earth," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. Lyra turned to him, her bright green eyes sparkling with interest. "Greetings, Alex. It is a pleasure to meet you. What do you think of our conference so far?" she asked, a warm smile lighting up her face. "I think it's incredible. I've never seen so many different species in one place. It's fascinating to learn about everyone's cultures," Alex replied, feeling his nerves ease as they talked. Lyra's eyes widened with excitement. "Oh, I would love to share more about Xantara. We have unique traditions and festivals that celebrate nature. Would you like to learn about them?" Alex nodded eagerly, grateful for her enthusiasm. They moved to a quieter corner of the hall, away from the crowd. Lyra began to describe the Grand Bloom Festival, where Xantari people danced under the stars, surrounded by glowing flowers that opened only once a year. As she spoke, Alex imagined the beauty of her world, and he could see her passion shining through. Time seemed to slip away as they shared stories and laughed together. Alex felt a connection growing between them, something deeper than just curiosity. He admired her intelligence and her compassion for others. Lyra, in turn, seemed to appreciate Alex's genuine interest in her culture. Suddenly, a loud announcement echoed through the hall, reminding everyone of the next session starting soon. Reluctantly, they realized it was time to part ways. "I hope to see you again, Alex," Lyra said softly, her eyes reflecting a mix of hope and longing. "Definitely, Your Highness. I would love to learn more," Alex replied, feeling a flutter in his heart. As he watched her walk away, he realized that meeting Lyra was more than just an encounter. It felt like the beginning of something extraordinary. Little did he know, their meeting would change the course of their lives forever. Sharing cultures. The next day at the Star Nexus, Alex eagerly searched for Lyra. After their last meeting, he couldn't stop thinking about her. The way she spoke about her planet and her traditions fascinated him. He wanted to know more about her world, and he hoped she wanted to learn about Earth too. As he walked through the busy halls, he finally spotted her. Lyra was standing near a large window, looking out at the vastness of space. The stars twinkled like diamonds against the dark backdrop, and Alex felt a sense of awe wash over him. He approached her with a warm smile. "Good morning, Princess Lyra. What a beautiful view, isn't it?" he said, trying to hide his excitement. Lyra turned to him and beamed. "Good morning, Alex. Yes, it is stunning. It reminds me of the nights on Xantara, where the sky is filled with glowing stars and colorful auroras. I can only imagine how beautiful that must be." Alex replied. "I would love to see it someday." Lyra smiled shyly. "Maybe one day you can. But for now, would you like to share stories about our cultures?" "Absolutely. I'd love to," Alex replied, feeling a thrill at the thought. They found a quiet corner in the conference center, away from the noise of other delegates. Lyra began by sharing tales of her planet. On Xantera, we have a special ceremony called the Unity Dance. Every year, we gather to celebrate our bond with nature and each other. We wear colorful outfits made from the finest fabrics, and we dance under the moonlight. As she spoke, Alex could picture the scene. "That sounds amazing. What kind of music do you have?" Lyra's eyes sparkled. "We use instruments made from natural materials. They create sounds that echo through the forest, blending perfectly with the sounds of nature. It's a magical experience." Alex felt inspired. In Earth's cultures, we have many festivals too. One of my favorites is Thanksgiving, where families gather to share a big meal. We cook delicious food like turkey and pumpkin pie, and we express gratitude for what we have. Lyra listened with great interest. "I would love to try your food. What is pumpkin pie like?" "It's sweet and creamy, with a warm spice flavor. I think you would enjoy it," he said with a smile. "And we also have music and dance at our celebrations. People come together to laugh and have fun." Their conversation flowed easily, and they both felt comfortable sharing their lives. Alex told Lyra about Earth's different cultures, from the colorful celebrations of Holi in India to the beautiful Christmas traditions around the world. In return, Lyra explained how Xanteri celebrate the changing seasons. When the flowers bloom in spring, we have a festival called the Blossom Festival. We plant new flowers and sing songs to welcome the new life, she said, her face glowing with excitement. "I love that idea. It's a beautiful way to honor nature," Alex said, feeling more connected to her. As they shared their cultures, they realized how similar their values were despite their differences. They both cherished family, community, and the beauty of nature. This understanding deepened their bond, making the space between them feel smaller. Before they knew it, hours had passed. They laughed and learned, feeling like old friends. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Alex and Lyra knew they had created something special, a friendship built on shared stories and mutual respect. "I'm so glad we met, Alex," Lyra said softly, her voice filled with warmth. "Me too, Lyra. I can't wait to learn even more about your world," Alex replied, his heart racing with excitement. They both knew that this was just the beginning of their journey together. Trouble in paradise. The next day at the Star Nexus, the atmosphere felt different. There was a sense of unease in the air. Alex noticed it right away as he walked through the halls filled with delegates. Many groups were whispering among themselves, casting worried glances toward the main meeting room. When he found Lyra, she looked troubled. Her bright eyes had a shadow of concern, and her usually radiant smile was missing. "Alex," she said softly, "there's something happening in my kingdom. I need to talk to you." "Of course, Lyra. What's going on?" he asked, his heart racing with worry. Lyra took a deep breath. "There are factions in Xantera that do not want me to represent my people here. They believe I am too close to humans, and that I should not trust you or your kind. They want to stop our alliance." Alex frowned. "But that doesn't make any sense. You're trying to build a bridge between our worlds." "I know," Lyra said, her voice shaking slightly. "But fear can cloud people's judgment. They see our friendship as a threat. Some even want to remove me from power." "That's terrible," Alex exclaimed. "We need to find a way to show them that unity is the key to peace." Lyra nodded, but her expression was still heavy with worry. "I fear they will try to make a move against me during the conference. If they succeed, it could ruin everything we have worked for." Alex felt a surge of determination. "We can't let that happen. We need to gather support from other delegates who believe in our cause. If we show them that we are strong together, they might listen. Good idea, Lyra said, her eyes lighting up with hope. But we need to be careful. I don't want to create more conflict. Together, they began to approach other delegates, sharing their vision of unity and cooperation. They spoke about the benefits of a strong alliance between humans and Xanteri. Some delegates listened with interest, while others remained skeptical. As the day went on, the tension grew. Rumors spread about an upcoming vote to replace Lyra as the princess. Alex could feel this frustration building. This is not right. They can't just take away your voice, he said passionately. I know, but some of them believe that without a strong ruler, Xantera will be vulnerable. Lyra explained. They don't understand that strength comes from unity. That evening, they attended a formal dinner where all the delegates were present. The room was filled with laughter and chatter, but Alex could sense the underlying tension. He watched as a group of Xanteri delegates exchanged worried whispers. He knew they were planning something. Lyra leaned closer to Alex and whispered, "We must stay alert. If they are going to make a move, it will be soon." Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the room fell silent. A tall Xanteri delegate stood up, his voice booming. "We cannot trust a princess who spends too much time with humans. We need a leader who will protect our interests." Gasps filled the room. Lyra's face went pale. Alex felt a surge of anger. He stood up, ready to defend her. "That's not true. Lyra has always acted in the best interest of Xantera. She believes in peace and friendship between our worlds." But the delegate continued, rallying others to his side. "If we allow this to continue, we risk losing everything. We must vote." Panic washed over Alex and Lyra. The vote could decide Lyra's fate. Would they allow fear and distrust to take over? In that moment, Alex knew they had to fight for their friendship, not just for themselves, but for a future where both their worlds could thrive together. "Lyra," he said firmly, "we must stand together. We can't let them tear us apart." With newfound resolve, they prepared to face the storm ahead. Allies unite. The tension in the conference hall was palpable. Lyra and Alex could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on them. As the delegates' words echoed in their minds, they knew they had to act fast. They needed allies, friends who believed in their cause and would stand with them against the rising tide of fear. After the dinner, they hurried out of the hall and into a quiet corner of the star nexus. "We can't fight this alone," Lyra said, her voice tinged with urgency. "We need to gather support from those who share our vision of peace." "Right," Alex replied, his mind racing. "Let's start with the delegates who were listening to us earlier. I noticed a few who seemed interested in our ideas." "Good idea," Lyra said, her eyes shining with determination. "We need to show them that we are united and that our friendship is a strength, not a weakness." They spent the next few hours visiting delegates' quarters. Alex spoke passionately about the benefits of unity between humans and Xanteri, while Lyra shared stories about her people's culture and values. They reminded everyone of the importance of cooperation in a galaxy filled with conflict. To their surprise, they found many who agreed with them. A delegate from a peaceful planet called Vereen joined their cause, eager to help strengthen their alliance. "We need more connections between our worlds," he said. "I have seen how fear can destroy relationships. Let's show them a better way." With renewed hope, they approached other delegates, gathering support like a snowball rolling down a hill. They found a strong, fierce leader from the planet Raxor, who had always been a friend to Earth. "I will stand by you, Lyra," she said firmly. "We cannot let fear dictate our future." As word spread, more delegates began to rally around them. A representative from the crystal planet of Shalarin added her voice, saying, "Your friendship is an example for all of us. Together, we can create a brighter future." With each ally they gained, Lyra's confidence grew. She began to believe that they could truly make a difference. They formed a small council, and together they discussed their strategy for the upcoming vote. "Let's hold a gathering," Alex suggested. We can invite all the delegates and showcase our cultures together. A celebration will remind everyone of the beauty in our differences. Lyra nodded excitedly. Yes, a cultural exchange. We can share music, food, and stories from our planets. It will be a chance to show that we can work together. They quickly set to work, organizing the event for the following evening. Lyra prepared traditional Xantari dishes, while Alex arranged for Earth's favorite foods. They invited all the delegates, hoping that the gathering would soften hearts and open minds. On the day of the event, the Star Nexus was alive with energy. Bright banners decorated the hall, showcasing both Xantari and Earth cultures. The aroma of delicious food filled the air, and soft music played in the background. As delegates arrived, they were greeted by the sight of people laughing and dancing. Lyra and Alex watched as their guests mingled, sharing stories and laughter. It was a beautiful sight. Everyone coming together, forgetting their fears, if only for a moment. Lyra took Alex's hand and squeezed it gently. "This is working. Look at how they are connecting," she said, her voice full of hope. Alex smiled back, feeling a warmth in his heart. "Yes, this is just the beginning. We can show them that unity is our strength." As the night went on, the atmosphere shifted. Conversations grew more relaxed, and friendships blossomed. Lyra and Alex knew they were one step closer to overcoming the fear that threatened their alliance. Together, they would fight for a brighter future, not just for themselves, but for all their worlds. The ancient ceremony. The night of the cultural exchange at the Star Nexus was a resounding success. Lyra and Alex felt a wave of relief and joy as delegates laughed and shared stories. Yet, amidst the celebration, a special event loomed on the horizon. The ancient ceremony of unity, a tradition on Xantara that Lyra had told Alex about. It was a sacred event meant to strengthen bonds between allies, and Lyra believed it could solidify their alliance with the other delegates. As they cleaned up after the celebration, Lyra turned to Alex with a bright smile. "I would love for you to join me in the ancient ceremony. It's a chance for us to deepen our connection and show our commitment to each other." Alex's heart raced at the thought. "I would be honored, Lyra. What do I need to know?" Lyra's expression grew serious. "The ceremony requires us to exchange gifts that represent our cultures. It symbolizes our willingness to understand and embrace one another. It's also a moment where we declare our intentions for the future." "Sounds wonderful. What should I bring?" Alex asked eagerly. Lyra thought for a moment. "Perhaps something that represents Earth's beauty, something that symbolizes your planet's spirit." Alex nodded, feeling inspired. He decided to bring a small globe made of glass. It was delicate and reflected the colors of Earth beautifully. It represented not just his home, but also the unity of all nations on the planet. The day of the ceremony arrived, and Lyra was nervous but excited. The hall was decorated with glowing flowers from Xantara, their colors shimmering like stars. The atmosphere was filled with a sense of magic and anticipation. Delegates from various planets gathered, their faces glowing with curiosity. As the ceremony began, Lyra stepped forward, adorned in a flowing gown made of soft, iridescent fabric that shimmered like the night sky. She looked regal and poised. Alex stood beside her, wearing a traditional outfit from Earth that he had chosen for the occasion. He felt proud to represent his planet. Lyra addressed the crowd, her voice steady. "We are gathered here today to honor our alliances and to celebrate our shared hopes for the future. In the spirit of unity, I invite you all to join us in this ancient ceremony." The delegates listened intently, their eyes fixed on Lyra. Alex could feel the energy in the room shift as they began to understand the importance of the moment. One by one, delegates from different planets came forward to present their gifts. A delegate from Vereen offered a beautiful crystal, symbolizing clarity and connection. Another from Raxor presented a piece of artwork representing strength and courage. Finally, it was Alex's turn. He stepped forward, holding the glass globe carefully in his hands. "This represents Earth and all its diverse cultures," he said, his voice clear. "It reminds us that despite our differences, we all share this universe. Together, we can create a brighter future." Lyra smiled at him, her eyes shining with pride. "And now, I would like to present my gift," she said, taking a small, intricately designed necklace from around her neck. It was made of delicate flowers from Xantara, woven together to form a beautiful chain. "This necklace symbolizes the bond between our worlds. May it remind us of our promise to support one another." As they exchanged gifts, a sense of warmth spread through the room. Delegates nodded, understanding the significance of the moment. Lyra and Alex clasped the gifts in their hands, and the energy around them grew stronger. At the climax of the ceremony, they stood together, united. "We pledge to protect our alliance and nurture the friendship between our worlds," they declared in unison. Applause erupted in the hall, and cheers filled the air. Lyra and Alex exchanged a glance, their hearts full of hope. They had taken a powerful step toward building a future of cooperation and understanding. The ancient ceremony of unity had not only deepened their bond, but had also brought their allies together in a way they had never imagined possible. As the event came to a close, Alex realized that this was more than just a ceremony. It was a turning point, a moment that would define their journey ahead. Together, they had sown the seeds of unity, and now it was time to nurture them. Facing reactions. The ancient ceremony of unity had been a resounding success, and Lyra and Alex felt hopeful as they stepped into the bustling halls of the Star Nexus the next morning. The atmosphere was charged with excitement, but also tension. Word of their ceremony had spread, and they knew that not everyone was pleased with their growing alliance. As they walked together, they noticed groups of delegates whispering in corners. Some looked at Lyra and Alex with curiosity, while others cast suspicious glances. It was clear that not all were supportive of their bond. "Do you think everyone appreciated the ceremony?" Alex asked, glancing around nervously. "I hope so," Lyra replied, her brow furrowed. "But I fear there are still those who oppose our friendship. They might see it as a threat to their power." As they approached the main conference room, they were met by a group of Xantari delegates who had been vocal against Lyra's alliance with humans. The tallest among them, a stern-looking Xantari named Krell, stepped forward. "Princess Lyra," Krell said with a cold voice, "you have embarrassed our people. The ceremony you held was nothing more than a display of weakness. You've shown that you are more interested in friendship with humans than in leading your own kind." Lyra's heart sank. "That's not true, Krell. This alliance is about strength, not weakness. Together, we can achieve so much more." "Strength," Krell scoffed. "You think humans can help us? They are unpredictable and dangerous. We need to protect Xantara from their influence." Alex stepped forward, feeling the need to defend Lyra. "That's not fair. We have shown nothing but respect and support for Xantara. Our alliance can bring peace and prosperity to both our worlds." But Krell was unfazed. "You may say that, but many of us do not trust you or your kind. You do not belong in our affairs, and we will not accept your influence over our princess." The tension in the room grew thick. Other delegates watched in silence, some nodding in agreement with Krell, while others looked uneasy. Lyra's heart raced, but she knew she had to stand her ground. "Listen," she said firmly, "the choice is ours to make. I believe that working together can lead to greater understanding. If we allow fear to control us, we will never move forward. I will not let anyone dictate my relationships." A murmur spread through the crowd, and Alex could feel the shift. Some delegates began to voice their support for Lyra. A representative from the planet Thurine stood up. "I believe in this alliance. We need to look beyond our differences and embrace unity." Slowly, others joined in. "We have seen how strong Lyra is as a leader. Let us not forget the promise we made during the ceremony," another delegate chimed in. Krell looked furious but realized he was losing support. "You are all fools to trust a human," he shouted. "Mark my words, This alliance will bring disaster." As he stormed off, Lyra sighed in relief, but her heart was still heavy. "Do you think we've turned the tide?" she asked Alex, her voice shaky. "I think so," Alex replied, glancing at the delegates who were now discussing amongst themselves. "But there is still a long way to go. We need to keep building trust and showing them that we mean well." Lyra nodded, determined. "We will not give up. We have allies who believe in us, and together we can prove that our friendship is powerful." As they walked away from the conference room, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced a challenge, but they had stood strong. Their journey was just beginning, and they knew that with each step forward, they were building a future where fear had no place, only hope, unity, and friendship. Preparing for a new life. Days turned into weeks after the ancient ceremony of unity, and the atmosphere at the Star Nexus began to shift. More delegates were beginning to accept Lyra and Alex's alliance. They had organized discussions about cooperation and mutual benefits, and the response had been positive. Still, both knew that real change would take time, effort, and dedication. As Lyra and Alex continued their work, they often found themselves reflecting on their futures. After their recent experiences, they realized that their lives were about to change forever. They were no longer just representatives of their worlds. They were leaders of a new alliance. One afternoon, as they were walking through a lush garden on the space station, Lyra turned to Alex, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the plants around them. "Alex, I've been thinking. If our alliance grows stronger, perhaps we should establish a new way of living. A place where humans and Xanteri can live together." Alex's eyes widened with excitement. "That sounds incredible. We could create a community that celebrates both our cultures. A place where people can learn from one another and share their traditions. Yes, we can start by selecting a neutral planet. A place that has resources for both our peoples," Lyra said, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. "We can build schools, markets, and cultural centers where everyone can contribute and thrive." "I love that idea," Alex replied. "We could create a space for art, music, and science, where knowledge flows freely between us." As they brainstormed, they felt a sense of purpose growing between them. They spent hours discussing ideas, sketching plans, and dreaming of what their new life could be. They talked about the kind of community they wanted to build, one rooted in friendship and collaboration. But as they prepared for this new venture, they also faced challenges. They had to convince their respective governments to support this vision. Lyra knew that some of her advisors would resist the idea, fearing it would dilute Xantera's culture. Meanwhile, Alex faced skepticism from certain factions on Earth that viewed alliances with aliens as a threat. "We will need to address those concerns head-on," Lyra said, determination shining in her eyes. "We can show them that we are not losing our identities, we are enriching them." "Exactly," Alex agreed. "We can hold joint meetings with leaders from both our worlds. We can present our plans and share the benefits of living together." As they moved forward, they began organizing a special conference dedicated to their vision. They invited leaders from both Earth and Xantera to discuss the proposal for the new community. They crafted presentations, showcasing the cultural exchanges they had experienced and the potential for innovation and growth. The day of the conference arrived, and both Lyra and Alex felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The grand hall was filled with delegates, their faces a blend of curiosity and skepticism. Lyra spoke first, her voice steady and confident. "We are here to share a vision for our future, a future where our peoples can live, work, and learn together. This new community will not take away from our cultures, it will celebrate them." After Lyra finished her speech, Alex took the stage. "Together, we can create a thriving center of knowledge and creativity. Imagine students learning from each other, scientists collaborating on new technologies, and artists sharing their work. This is not just a dream, it is within our reach." As they spoke, Alex could see some delegates nodding in agreement, while others remained skeptical. Lyra felt her heart race as they addressed the crowd, but she knew they had to push through the doubts. After a series of questions and discussions, it became clear that they were making progress. Some leaders who were once against the idea began to show interest, recognizing the potential for growth and connection. As the conference concluded, Lyra and Alex exchanged hopeful glances. They had taken a significant step toward creating a new life, one that would bring their worlds closer together. "I can't believe how far we've come," Lyra said, her voice filled with wonder. "Me too," Alex replied, smiling. "This is just the beginning. Together, we can build something amazing." With determination and hope in their hearts, they prepared to embark on the next chapter of their journey, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Uncovering the threat. As the days passed, the excitement surrounding the new community project grew. Lyra and Alex worked tirelessly, meeting with delegates and gathering support. They were close to turning their dream into a reality. But in the midst of their progress, a dark shadow loomed. One evening, while reviewing plans for the new community, Alex received a message from a friend on Earth. "Alex, you need to come to the security center. There's something you need to see." Concerned, Alex quickly met Lyra. "I have to go to the security center. There's something going on that I don't understand," he told her, his brow furrowed. "I'll come with you," Lyra said, determination in her voice. "If there's a threat, we need to face it together." They hurried through the bustling halls of the Star Nexus, arriving at the security center, where a group of officials were gathered around a large screen displaying a series of images. When they entered, the room fell silent, and everyone turned to them. "Thank you for coming," a tall man named Commander Rax said, his face serious. "We have uncovered a potential threat to your alliance." Alex's heart raced. "What do you mean?" Rax gestured to the screen, which showed footage of a group of individuals wearing dark cloaks. "We believe this group is planning to sabotage your efforts. They have been gathering in secret, and they do not want the alliance to succeed." Lyra leaned closer, her expression worried. "Who are they?" "We don't know yet," Rax replied, his tone grave. "But they seem to be a mix of Xanteri humans who oppose the idea of unity. They are spreading misinformation, trying to create fear and division." Alex felt a surge of anger. "We can't let them undermine everything we've worked for. How can we stop them?" Rax pointed to a map of the Star Nexus. "We believe they are planning to disrupt the upcoming conference where we will finalize the plans for the new community. We need to ensure that this meeting goes smoothly." Lyra nodded, her determination rekindled. "We must strengthen our security and make sure everyone understands the truth. We can't let fear win." The group began to brainstorm ideas on how to counter the threat. They decided to hold a press conference before the meeting, addressing the rumors and emphasizing the importance of unity. Alex suggested, "We should invite everyone to share their experiences. If we show our strength as a community, it will be harder for them to divide us." As they finalized their plans, Alex's mind raced. He knew the upcoming conference would be a turning point, not just for their project, but for their entire alliance. They had to stand strong against the looming threat. The next morning, Lyra and Alex prepared for the press conference. They rehearsed their speeches, focusing on the positive aspects of their alliance and the benefits of living together. They wanted to inspire hope and connection, countering any negativity that might arise. As they stepped onto the stage, they faced a sea of reporters, delegates, and curious onlookers. Alex could feel the weight of their expectations, but he pushed aside his nerves. "Thank you all for being here today," he began, his voice steady. "We are excited about the future we are building together." Lyra joined him, her voice confident. "Our alliance is not just about two worlds coming together. It is about creating a brighter future for all. We will not be deterred by those who seek to spread fear. Together, we will succeed." As they spoke, Alex noticed a few figures in the back of the crowd, their expressions tight with anger. He knew that the threat was real, but he also felt a surge of determination. They were not alone. They had allies who believed in their vision. As the conference ended, Lyra turned to Alex, her eyes shining with resolve. "We will uncover the truth about this group and protect our alliance." "Absolutely," Alex replied, feeling their shared strength. "We'll face whatever comes our way. Together, we can overcome anything." With newfound purpose, they prepared for the challenges ahead, ready to defend their dream and the unity they had fought so hard to achieve. A bright future. The day of the final conference had arrived, and the star nexus was buzzing with energy. Delegates from all over the galaxy had come to witness the historic event. Lyra and Alex stood at the front of the grand hall, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and nerves. They had faced threats and doubts, but now they were ready to show everyone the power of their alliance. As delegates filled the seats, Lyra glanced at Alex. "We've come so far," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I can't believe it's finally here." "Just remember why we're doing this," Alex replied, offering her a reassuring smile. "We're creating a future where our peoples can thrive together." The hall was adorned with banners from both Earth and Xantara, symbolizing their unity. As the lights dimmed, Lyra took a deep breath and stepped forward to the podium. The murmurs of the crowd quieted, and all eyes were on her. "Welcome, everyone," she began, her voice strong and clear. "Today marks a significant moment in our history. We are here to finalize our plans for the new community, a place where humans and Xantari can live, learn, and grow together." The crowd erupted into applause, and Lyra felt a rush of confidence. She continued, "We have faced challenges, but together we have shown that fear cannot divide us. Our differences are our strengths, and by embracing them, we can build a brighter future." As she spoke, Alex watched the audience closely. He noticed some of the previously skeptical delegates nodding in agreement, their faces softening with understanding. He felt a swell of hope. Maybe they could truly make this work. After Lyra finished her speech, Alex took the stage. "I want to thank each of you for being here today. This is not just a meeting. It is a promise to work together and support one another. Our communities will not just coexist, they will thrive." The applause grew louder, and Alex felt a sense of camaraderie with everyone in the room. "We will create spaces for education, art, and science. We will share knowledge and celebrate our cultures. This is not just about two worlds. It is about all of us working toward a common goal." Just as he was finishing his speech, a commotion arose in the back of the hall. Alex's heart raced as he saw figures in dark cloaks entering the room. It was the same group he had seen on the security footage. They were here to disrupt everything. "Stop this," one of them shouted, but the crowd did not falter. Instead, many delegates stood up, voices united. "We believe in unity," they shouted back, rallying around Lyra and Alex. Lyra stepped forward again, her presence commanding. "This is what we have built together. We will not allow fear to tear us apart." In that moment, Alex felt an overwhelming sense of hope. The delegates' resolve was stronger than ever. They faced the intruders together, demonstrating the very unity that Lyra and he had fought for. The dark figures hesitated, realizing they were outnumbered by those who believed in a brighter future. "You may think you can stop us," one of them sneered, "but we will never accept your alliance." "Your fear will not win," Lyra shouted back. "We will forge our path and create a community of understanding and peace." The hall erupted into cheers. The crowd stood together, united in purpose, and the dark figures retreated, their threats fading into the distance. After the commotion, Lyra and Alex looked at each other, relief washing over them. They had faced a challenge, but they had come out stronger. The spirit of unity filled the hall, and they could feel it igniting a new energy among the delegates. As the conference concluded, delegates began to voice their support for the new community, eager to participate in building a future where both humans and Xanteri could thrive. Lyra and Alex felt a wave of joy wash over them. "We did it," Lyra exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. "Yes, we did," Alex replied, grinning from ear to ear. "This is just the beginning. Together, we will make this dream a reality." With newfound determination, they prepared to embark on their journey into a bright future, one built on friendship, trust, and the promise of a better tomorrow for all.